What's going on, Schmo? Well, I'm sorry I missed the regular review.
Are you really?
Yeah,
Are you avoiding it?
Not at all. Why would I'm doing the spoiler review.
Look at him.
It's Halloween.
He's here.
That's right. And what I will say briefly, because I was not on the non-spoiler, I wound up enjoying this movie. I like this movie. I probably go about 3.5.
Okay, Riley and I both went 4 out of 5 schmoes.
I'll do 3.5.
Yeah.
3.5 out of 5 schmoes. I think that it's a great movie to see in Halloween. It's a good movie. It made Michael Myers terrifying again. Now, the one thing I am glad I wasn't on the non-spoiler for was because I want to be able to talk about this. I think there is a make or break scene in this movie, and that's when the silly ass doctor.
It's a spoiler review, by the way.
Yeah,
in case you didn't read what you clicked on.
And I'll preface it with this: the best line in the movie, is when Jamie Lee Curtis looks at him and she goes, "Oh, you're the new Loomis."
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and the script was filled with little things like that that are nods that it's one thing to just pay homage to a scene or to a movie. It's another thing to have little clever winks at the audience that will elicit a laugh from the faithful that are clearly aware of this.
See what we did for you?
Yeah, like the bait and switch where at the end of the first movie or the original you see Michael Myers laying out there after falling out the window, and then this time Michael Myers looks out and sees Laurie Strode, and then he looks away. Then he looks back down. Laurie Strode ain't there anymore, and it's like, oh, she's becoming the Michael Myers to him. This is awesome.
That was really good. The other thing that was good was when until after I saw the movie, didn't realize it because I'm not as big of fans as you guys were. That for a long time I thought that Laurie Strode was Michael Myers' sister because that eventually happened in later movies.
Yeah, it was a thing.
And then I didn't realize it because they say it in the movie. There was this rumor going around that it was her brother. And I'm like, well, wait, I thought it was her brother. So I didn't catch on to it until I was scolded in Claire Live.
Well, yeah,
I actually like that.
Even up to a few months ago, people were saying like, oh, well, is he still gonna be her brother? Is that gonna be the big reveal in this movie? And McBride and David Gordon Green all along were like, no. It's not that. We're taking this in a different direction. And the direction they took it in, like to what you opened the review with, is like you're the new Loomis. Is you feel like you're following down a similar path for the most part, but this movie took twists and turns where the first one did not. It zigged, and when you talk about the big doctor reveal where the doctor all of a sudden becomes a knife-wielding maniac, do you like that or do you not like that? A lot of that is going to indicate whether you love this movie or hated it.
I just felt it was too dopey, and it just kind of came out of nowhere, and then you get the excuse was, but that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to feel like it was like to kill just like Michael Myers had done, and I'm like, I don't know.
I didn't fully buy it either. Like as it was playing out, I'm like, really, this is what we're going down. I think the movie did as good of a job as it could have explaining that for the rest of the film and keeping us engaged, because a twist like that, you run the risk of really losing your audience for the rest of the movie, and it certainly didn't do that.
No, it lost me for like 3 minutes, and then I was kind of back in.
Right, because
how the big fight was going to go down.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. We want to see this like huge showdown that we've been waiting for. What we didn't know we've been waiting for 40 years to see this. We have been waiting 40 years to see the Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie Strode, certainly has been waiting that long. And I think all of that was executed so well. This movie, it's just so much fun. And what I did like about the film is the way that it opened right from the get-go with the two I love their podcasters, and they're doing like the serial kind of thing.
I felt that podcasters were unnecessary.
It got us into the movie.
It was what I'm saying is you could have gotten us there any other way, but what I loved was that scene when they did go visit him. That's the best scene.
And they held the mask up. Michael.
I liked that scene when he was sitting there, because this is the conversation that, and this eventually, I guess, you know better than I do, but eventually in the Halloween series, the ones that were retconned, Michael Myers was kind of revealed there was kind of some kind of dark spirit.
They're now legends.
Right, legends, but there was some kind of dark spirit or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of darkness that may not be human.
I'll tell you why I don't hate that still for this, because of that mask scene. And when they held that mask up, and he first of all, he doesn't, you can shoot the guy, you can cut his fingers off, and he just goes,
yeah.
Right? So that's
he's a gamer. He plays through the pain.
That's just like, a tough, really tough dude. So I can get around not being the spirits. You know what I said?
Rub some dirt on it, Michael.
Right. There were those crazy loons around him, right? But the second she holds up the mask and he feels the evil, and the evil comes alive, they all start going nuts.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear, well, they all looked at the mask. Why do they care?
No, it was like a dog whistle.
It was, they felt the evil.
Yeah.
And to me, that would be, okay, well, what? Because the other thing was he a lunatic up until he was 6? Because it was 6 was when he committed it. So what happened? I think there'd be a cool story there.
Where he was just born evil?
No, how he was possessed when he was 6. Oh,
you're taking this like
that's what I'm saying.
Combining the two classic horror films of the 70s.
But I think there could be something to where like there was some kind of something that got into him. And I know that the purest thing is that this is just Michael Myers was evil. But that scene in the movie with everybody going nuts made me go, well, the way that they're playing that, it could run that way because he was this is the most menacing he's been.
Sir, yeah. But when I watch the movie and like in my head, because like when you're a fan of something, you've enjoyed the ride you've had thus far with the movie, and you see like the scene where the doctor turns, and as a viewer, it's incumbent upon us to refrigerator nuke this moment and be like, how can I rationalize this and still end up liking it? I think one of the reasons that you can be able to do that if you want to is the doctor is right there watching these podcasters hold the mask up, and he sees what's happening. And I don't know how many experiments he's conducted. He's been wanting this case for a while, right? And he took over for Loomis. And so when he sees that reaction, maybe he was already on edge and was just so frustrated with his case and wanted to find a new way to break Michael. And then when he saw the mask come out and he saw everybody else's reaction, that sent him over the edge. And he's like, okay, now I have my way. But in order to explain all that, it's like you have a very similar scene again with the first movie. Is you have the wreck of all the patients got into some sort of wreck. How'd they get into a wreck? We're not exactly sure. All we know is that the doctor's laying there, and he gets shot by that other kid.
Why did he let the doctor live there, but then he killed him in the car? Why did Michael Myers he killed everybody? But I mean, he let a lot of the lunatics run away.
He let a lot of them run away, and like
the doctor, he killed the authority figures, the cops. Yeah. But he let the doctor stay. I thought it was because he had like kind of a respect for the doctor.
Maybe the doctor set him free.
Yeah, but then he wound up killing the doctor.
Well, it's Michael Myers. He's gonna wind up killing.
So he's okay the first time he did a favor, but if I see you again, I'm gonna break your neck.
It's Michael Myers.
Right.
Okay. Just because you had beer with the guy the night before doesn't mean he's not gonna show up and kill you.
That's why when I first saw the movie, I was analyzing it a little too much, and I said, wait a minute, this is one of the better slasher films that I've seen in a bit, because it is a mixture of, there's a mixture of like the 70s horror film, and combined with what horror movies are today, because if you go back to watch the original, they didn't show a lot of the gruesome kills. This is more the gruesome kills they show in this one, like a lot of the stuff that going through people's head, like when he
gas station scene was intense.
That was real intense.
The teeth.
Well, you saw that in the trailer, but it was like he beats the snot out of that guy.
I don't know how he's still alive.
He's like he can't even move.
Yeah,
and he's just that to me was the most devastating, because he's there with the blood dripping down his head, watching his partner die because he can't do anything because he's just incapacitated.
Yeah, I love that. I do love that there are podcasters, because it's shuttling that lore into the new millennium.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. But you know the other thing, Tim Robbins' son again, who's great in blockers. He's Russell Crowe light.
Yeah.
Not Russell Crowe, Russell Brand light.
Yeah. Yes.
So those are the ones who are like, oh, they're going Jason here, because when they find him, he's got like a thing, he's pinned against the wall and he's sticking his head.
Still very workman-like. The Michael Myers was always
it was a Jason-like kill. There were a few Jason-like kills, and I did like. This is the thing, though. There was a mixture of all these slasher films, whether it's I Know You Did Last Summer or whatever it might be. These dopey teens. In a lot of the tropes from the 80s movies, these dopey teens that you have to just kind of set up. And
How
then
dare you call Freddie Prinze Jr. a dope?
I'm sorry. He survived though, didn't he? I mean, he might have died. I don't remember.
I know Sarah did.
But Jennifer
Love Hewitt,
all these other ones. She's Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Okay.
And then they all die. And then that happens here. However, one of the things, the loose ends that never gets wrapped up, is the goofy boyfriend who cheats on Jamie Lee Curtis's granddaughter.
Yeah,
he throws the phone into the pudding, and you never see him again. He never gets his comeuppance.
No, he's got to live with what he did. You know,
they forgot about it.
He's got to live with that.
They forgot.
They didn't forget about it. I think they just didn't care about it. Another loose end.
There's got to be a scene where he dies.
How about the little kid who we're rooting for to get away?
What happened to that kid?
He got away.
And you never see him
again. Because again, this
was great.
This is what I'm telling you. He was great. It's like let's say that you put all your classic movie monsters into an apartment with a bunch of pictures. You say, hey, decorate this. Like Freddy is probably just going to take a nap, right? Jason is probably going to break out and like escape. Michael Myers is going to do the job. It's not going to look pretty, but he's going to do the job. He's there to kill the people that are on his list. If people get in his way, because there's kids that are bumping into him trick or treating, he's like me. I don't want to deal with you. There's something else that I have a goal in mind, and the whole time we're waiting for this showdown between Michael and Jamie Lee Curtis. And one of the things that I think I could have used another like hap scene would have been just the recognition between the two of them. There's a great moment when she's on the ground and she looks up and she sees in the window Michael and he's staring at her. I could have used maybe I'm just selfish. I could have used a little bit more just milking that udder.
I thought that was the ring of the bell. I thought that was ding ding ding.
Yeah.
When they did that, I liked that.
It was beautiful.
By the way, and that's the thing that I thought they did so well in that tracking shot, because that was the most reminiscent to the 1978 film. The music was out of control. And when he goes in, he gets the hammer, he kills the woman off screen, which was, again, very...
Poor lady.
Outside. Yeah, but
we
then
send flowers.
She gets the knife. He gets the knife. He comes back out, and then he kills that woman really brutally, right?
Didn't that feel like a video game where he's trading in better weaponry?
Yes, it did. But but to go back to that, after he hits the woman with the hammer, what they did so well, which was good, was he walks and he hears the baby, right? And he walks towards the baby.
It's just like, what?
And I'm glad that I had seen this scene already at Halloween at Comic-Con.
Oh, did he?
Yes, they showed the scene already at Comic-Con, because I was really anxious in Comic-Con that I was like, I'm not gonna like this movie. It's the same way, but I'm not gonna like this movie if they have, because they keep reiterating how this is pure evil. There's no humanity left. This is pure evil. And so when he goes to the baby, I'm like, oh man. I'm like, this is because he kills the little kid.
Yeah.
In the 12-year-old.
Yeah.
He kills that kid. So I was like, oh, man, but he didn't. And I was like, okay, that's the filmmakers going, of course we're not going to kill a baby.
Yeah.
Same way we're not going to kill a dog.
You can't kill babies. You can't kill dogs. I think this is pure evil, but I think it's pure evil with a purpose. Where, like if you want to take the Exorcist example, Satan could have possessed anybody he wanted. He's fucking Satan, right? Don't do it to me. But it's like, so if you're flying from hell or whatever, you're going to pass a lot of people on your way to get into Reagan. You really want to get into Reagan for whatever reason. And I think that he's just singularly focused on this mission. And what a great foil Laurie Strode was. I've seen the trailers, right? I did not know she was going to be that level of paranoia, that level of preparedness. I thought she'd be prepared, but the fact that she's agoraphobic and has such a tarnished relationship with really any other living being, much less her daughter and her family, I didn't know it was going to be that awkward when they interact, and I think it worked for the film.
It did. The whole plot is Terminator 2. I mean, it's Terminator 2. It's like training. She's training John Connor. John Connor got taken away. She got to reunite with John Connor. John Connor learns again what he knows, and here comes the Terminator. And then that leads us to the fight, which was great. I love the
badass Home Alone scene.
Everything that they did, and I loved that scene with Judy Greer when she was pretending she was so scared, like she couldn't do it.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Oh, Judy Greer really nailed that moment.
I bought into it. I was like, Judy, remember your training.
Yeah, and she did, and she got you. That was a good moment. And this is the part of the movie that I understand money-wise and franchise-why, but I really wish they would have had the balls to actually kill Michael Myers. Like, light him up.
You don't think he's dead?
Come on. Because here's the thing that they did, and I think that they actually did this in another one of the movies, right? So he's downstairs, he's in the basement, and he's looking up. I love that scene where he's looking up with the mask.
Just burning in hell.
And he's like, yeah, in hell, but he's like, you defeated me. Like a stranded dog, right? He's like, you defeated me.
Aww.
And then, but when they cut back to him, he's not on the stairs. He's not burning or anything too. So they're just like, well, where'd he go, right? And then you never see him. You never see the body. You never see the mask burnt. And they basically go, well, there's going to be a part 2.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at Laurie and her daughter and her granddaughter as they're in the back of the truck. Which, by the way, we're trusting strangers already again. They're in the back of the truck and they're riding on into town, right? So I'm sorry, am I boring you? Guy gets to make his big last statement, and then, Ellis, what do you think about that? Gotta get out of here.
I have a 1-year-old. Will you give me a break?
Anyway,
4:30 in the morning.
The point being, I don't think that I
have a 1-year-old.
I don't think that she's gonna feel comfortable ever. I don't think she's gonna get one good night of sleep because, like, why do you burn the whole house down? Why do you burn the whole house?
That's what
down?
It was built for.
What?
It was built to be destroyed. Everything inside of it, burn it down with evil. I was okay with that. I just wish they would have torched
I get it,
the
and cinematically it worked, which is why I liked watching this movie so much.
It was a war zone. It wasn't a home.
The scene, again, with him slowly descending into hell, and I took it when you didn't see him in the stairs in the moment, as somebody who's seen, the Halloween films a number of times, I just took it as, okay, he has finally gone back to hell, and then you see her in the truck and you're like, are you really going to sleep well tonight? Or are you going to wake up being like, I could have put one more bullet in his head?
They should have shot him right in the face. She like all of this stuff. Like she's standing there looking at him, and he's looking up like this. You shoot him in the face.
Not right away. You want to relish it. I would want to relish it. I want to stand there and just be like, this is fun.
Fine
for me.
But don't leave until you shoot him in the face.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And that's like it's left over. I just thought it was a little lazy because it's like you go back and it's like there should be not a person in that theater that went like, oh, he died. You don't see him die, so you know he's not dead.
But you're going to be up for a sequel, aren't you?
I'd be interested in it. What I worry is that it starts to go down the tropes of everything else that happened. The reason why they had to retcon it in the first place.
Yeah.
Because they made him menacing again. That was hard to do after the 11 films that they've done. They have made him scary again.
But and that's, you bring up Terminator. That's why I'm excited for this version of Terminator. But when you sit down and you look at it, you say, oh, this makes perfect sense to retcon all those movies and just make a direct sequel. But then you're like, okay, but now you're saying, now you've put your money on the table and saying, we guarantee this movie is better than any of these other movies that have come along. Right. And same thing with Terminator. Like, is Salvation or Rise of the Machines or Jenny Smith, is it great? No. Right. But you're saying that this movie is a worthy successor to Terminator 2? You're saying, I think this movie is a worthy successor to Halloween. I think that's the best thing that you can say about this film is that it lived up to the promise of the original.
I agree with that. I think that, look, here's the thing, and we even laughed about it before this review started. I have definitely seen 2, 3, H2O, whatever it is. I don't remember not a one of them except the first
Season of the Witch.
Not a one of them. But this to me was a direct sequel of what I saw when I was a kid. The first one scared me. It's a very different movie, but it is a worthy successor. So yeah, it's if you're a fan, it's the only movie to watch for Halloween.
Yeah, I question for everybody out there watching this: comment and let's engage. Because he's going to be sleeping. So let's talk. I wasn't sure why they made the decision one way or the other. I'd love to ask them.
For you. They did it for you.
Is that, no, what they didn't do that I thought they would is that in the first one, he takes the headstone of Judith Myers. And he didn't take it in this one. There's a scene there, and when they're first there, because Michael's like lurking around the graveyard and he's looking, but they never go back to it. Like, because in the first one, he does steal it, and then he puts it in with one of the kill scenes. And I'm like, why didn't he do that again? Is he over it? And then, but the way that I write that off in my head is that he's got a new target, that he's not thinking about his family as much anymore. He goes and he hey, how you doing? And then he's all about Laurie Strode, and so that's what I was thinking.
I do think there are a few things that were cut out, especially that kid with the pudding. All right, so right over there, you got some reviews.
He deserved it.
Yeah, the non-spoiler reviews are over there. We have a ton of reviews. We're going to be a lot more. It's coming up to the Oscar season as far as the movies that are coming out, so you're going to get a lot of reviews from us coming up here. Right over there, you can get some Harloff and Ellis or some other past things we've done, and right there, T-shirts. You want one of these? Well, get it.
Bang.
Do it. And guess what? Sooner or later, I'd say within the next couple months, very special announcement coming. I'm teasing it. Don't you yawn at my announcement.